gets the arm bar, 1, gets arm bar, 2. Then he comes in for the full sweep, comes in for the bicep slicer, wrecks my bicep, but look, come around. He has caught my wrist in such a horrendous wrist lock at this point, I can't get that out. I mean, yeah. Even turning in here, he can still grab it. He grabs the meaty part of my hand and curves it in and snaps my wrist. So what is that? 1, 2, sweep, another arm bar, 3, bicep slicer, 4, and then we have a wrist lock, 5. We can do it right here. Just by grabbing here, making sure the thumb is out this way. We've already done it. I can even bring this here if I really want to. Lock it in. Awesome. It's a great way, go ahead and pull it up. It's just a great, super efficient way. And if that doesn't work, he's too strong, well then dump him. And then we'll finish it there. So quite literally, the setup would look like this. Here, I come in for the lasso, opposite side. This is how you can drill. Get a tap. Get your second tap. Tap. So now we've got a double attack. Pretty cool. Let's give that a try. 1, 2. And I talk about this is because if we're playing a nice tight guard, there's not a lot of times if they're staying close that we can just put our feet up on it. Yeah. He can defeat, he should be able to defeat that. But a lot harder if I do this. So he tries to prevent it again. So try not to let me out. He tries to move up. No. But see, now I can attack something else, right? But he's gonna have to move this eventually, and that's when I put my foot on the hip. We can play that game all day long. I finally get here. I bring this around, and I catch under. No time to lose. Comes in with the lasso. Gets the arm bar, 1, gets arm bar, 2. Then he comes in for the full sweep. Comes in for the bicep slicer, wrecks my bicep, but look, come around. I'm helpless. He has caught my wrist in such a horrendous wrist lock at this point, I can't get that out. I mean, yeah. Even turning in here, he can still grab it. He grabs the meaty part of my hand and curves it in and snaps my wrist. Off from 1 setup with a lasso guard. How crazy is that? If only we could remember everything all the time. So you're gonna say to yourself, okay, that's all good and well, coach. Why aren't you catching that on me all the time? Because fighting is fighting. Techniques are techniques and fighting is fighting. And you're gonna change the dynamics of my abilities, my setups, and my capabilities of pulling that off in so many different micro elements that I have to catch you at that. But if you learn the techniques, you can be aware of it. Like, how many times have you accidentally swept somebody and come up with your shin across their bicep and probably really never thought about anything except for climbing off and getting them out? And yet there could be a bicep slicer and a wrist lock there the whole time. So it's just a matter of seeing, like, wow, through this one flow motion, we have multiple potential entry points for a finish. And nothing is better to cement that in and create a brain stain around the rim so that you can have muscle memory than flowing and trying to give 10, 15, 20% resistance. And when I say resistance, I don't just mean kinetic resistance. I mean chest move resistance. Like, you're trying to open up so you can get your feet on my hips, but I'm closing the gap like Mike did to me, which makes me then have to move differently. And then I've got to be patient, and we have to wait, and then maybe try to peel his lapel apart. Well, then he forgets about keeping close to my hips because he's worried about his lapel, and that's when I make my move. Almost? Welcome to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academia. That's what it is. That's why Jiu-Jitsu isn't for the faint of heart, but yet it's so absolutely dominant. It's just amazing. So the last part of this class is I'd like you to take turns with other opponents and flow roll for 6 minutes and see if you can set them up with this type of attack and pull off at least one or more of these submissions. However you enter into them, okay? Let's have some fun with it. Should be really fun. Should not be like dangerous. Should not be like painful. You should just be able to like move your chess pieces around the board and see if you can trip them up. Get them looking over here while you attack over here. Misdirection. Os? All right, let's do it. Good job.